I don't know any other way to put it. I want to learn to love myself. This video is clearly different from my normal skincare videos because I just wanted to have an honest conversation and reflection of a lot of things that I've been thinking about recently, and I want to share a journey that I'm about to embark on. But I wanted to start off sharing where I currently am mentally and kind of the things I've been struggling with. By no means is this a sad or negative video at all. I want this to be a positive tone. But if you guys have been subscribers on my channel for a while and you've seen my mental health videos, you know that my mental health journey has been chaotic, to say the least. It is an ever-thrilling roller coaster. And when I looked at my mental health videos from the past, documenting my struggle with anorexia, self-harm, religious trauma, and attempting to take my own life, I've noticed that in the moments I've shared those struggles, it was at a point where I had mostly resolved a lot of the trauma surrounding those things and was able to confidently sit in front of you guys and share my story in an effort to hopefully help any of you who might be struggling with the same thing. But I've had a lot of self-reflection, and I realized a few months back that honestly, I am just so exhausted with hating myself. I have always struggled with self-confidence. That has always been a challenge for me. And while I'm really accustomed to constantly criticizing myself and self-deprecating humor, you guys have really helped me notice kind of the toxic behaviors in the way that I treat myself by calling me out when I have been self-deprecating and I haven't been nice to myself. And I just first want to say thank you for that. Like, that's one thing I love about this community, is that you guys are able to help bring attention to things that I otherwise wouldn't have noticed. And not to get too into therapy, but for my whole life, I have always been in a cycle of self-hatred, self-loathing, and self-destruction. And while I'm really proud that I am getting out of the self-destructive phase, like I'm not actively hurting myself or doing self-harm like I used to, I have never gotten to the point of self-acceptance, let alone self-love. And lately, my self-confidence has been pretty freaking bad, bro. And it's nothing to seriously worry about, like that is my own internal struggle, but I have noticed that over time it's gotten pretty consistently worse. And I'm really not sure what the source of that is. I mean, obviously, I imagine it's heavily linked to my upbringing and the trauma that I experienced growing up, but I am now 26. And at this point, I'm just like, I think it's time that I need to better myself and, you know, stop freaking hating myself. And it's been a little disorienting why my self-confidence has gotten so much worse at this point in my life, because I feel like I have so much to be grateful for and I absolutely love my life. But I have noticed that over the past year, I've started to hate myself a lot more than I even did in the past. And I feel like there's multiple reasons, all of which I'm working through in therapy. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. I'm definitely in therapy. I'm a huge advocate for it. I see my BetterHelp therapist every single week. But I feel like part of it is traced back to being a content creator, just in the sense that like comparisons are natural. As human beings, it is normal for us to compare ourselves to other people. And when I'm constantly consuming and working within social media, it's only natural for me to compare myself to other people in the space and feel inadequate. I also think, and this might be a controversial take, but being a part of the gay community has definitely increased my lack of self-confidence and increased my feelings of unattractiveness. And I think that's because in the gay community, there's such an intense pressure to look good all the time, to have the perfect body, the perfect face. A lot of people in the community heavily value physical attractiveness beyond anything else, and trying to measure up to that is not only exhausting, but extremely self-deprecating. And it's hard to fully disconnect from that, especially when I love so much about the gay community. Not me roasting the gay community during Pride Month. I promise I'm a full-on homosexual. I can say this shit. But I think another element was having the realization that I should not be valuing myself based on my productivity, my success, or my attractiveness, which are all the things that I used to value myself based off of. And in realizing those things don't make you love yourself and don't make you value yourself for the person that you are, I've kind of been a little directionless and feeling blank, because I'm like, well, I know I can't value myself with those things anymore, but I also hate myself. So what now? And I mean, it's really fucking embarrassing to admit that I hate myself, because I feel like I'm coming off in a way that's a false plea for attention, which just makes me cringe and is not the reality at all, because I know exactly how I feel about myself and it's not great. And normally in the past, when I've really descended into cycles of self-loathing, I have turned to my coping mechanisms, which is depression, anorexia, and self-harm. Over the past year, I have been heavily tempted to relapse to those coping mechanisms. But I want it to be different this time. I do not want to go back into those cycles because I know how damaging they can be. I don't deserve it. You guys don't deserve it. It just does no good. I want to be above my toxic coping mechanisms. And more than anything, bruh, I am just so sick and tired of being selfish. And let me explain what I mean. Constantly feeling inadequate, constantly criticizing yourself, constantly feeling like you're unattractive, all revolves around one thing: myself. All of those mental patterns are so self-absorbed because I'm thinking about me the whole time. And I'm just tired of it because I'm like, I don't want to be thinking of myself. I want to be thinking about others. I want to be be thinking about the impact I can make in the world. I don't want to be constantly focused on how I act, how I look, how I appear to others. That shit is stupid, and I am so over it. 26 years later, I'm like, okay, this has to change. Enough. And so I want to bring you guys on the journey of improving my self-confidence and maybe, just maybe, begin to love myself in the process. That sounds gross saying that. And I first want to do this because I want to change the way I value myself. I've always primarily valued myself based off of three things. First, productivity. I felt good about myself when I was overexerting myself in productivity, constantly doing something, obsessively chasing after a goal, never resting. And not have I only learned that that's fucking exhausting, but your worth is not attached to what you do, what you create, or what you accomplish. Your self-worth in just surviving, existing, and making it another day should be enough. Second, with success, having been raised thinking I would never accomplish my dreams and goals or ever be successful, I always thought that once I became successful, then I would value myself. And that is so stupid because I would never value someone else based off of whether they were successful or not. So why do I perceive myself that way? And finally, attractiveness. I personally have never felt attractive, and my only sense of attraction value was tied to if other people perceived me as attractive. And bitch, I want to feel hot 24/7. Well, I know that's not realistic. You can't feel hot 24/7, but I want to at least have some moments where I feel attractive. And so now that I know that all those things are bullshit, I realize that I need to redefine what self-value means to me. And that only comes through action and changing the way you think and changing what you do. As much as I just want to sit around and wait for self-love to come to me, that's just not how life works. And so I decided for this series that I would challenge myself to do 6 different things and see how they improve my self-confidence and if I love myself. And I'll be leading you guys through this whole journey, but I want to introduce you to what I'm going to be doing. First, I want to challenge myself to tell myself that I am beautiful every single day and to change the negative mental narrative that I have going on in my mind. Everyone always says tell yourself you're beautiful in the mirror every day, and I've always been that person that's like, ugh, that's so weird, and I don't want to say that to myself because at the end of the day, I don't believe it. So why would I say that to myself? But I have had many a therapist and many a friends tell me that it actually works, and I've never committed to it long term. And additionally, I want to change the negative mental narrative that is constantly running through my head. All the negative thoughts, all the unnecessary self-criticism and self-hatred that is going on in this noggin, and instead shift it to positive or constructive thoughts. I think out of all the videos I'm going to be doing, this one is going to be the most difficult. I just know I'm going to be uncomfortable, but I want to challenge myself, and I want you guys to hold me accountable through all of these things. Second, I want to challenge myself to consistently get a full night's rest of sleep. If you guys have watched any of my videos for the past 2 years, you are probably familiar with my absolutely chaotic work schedule. I have never consistently gotten a full night's sleep since middle school, I think. And I've always felt that way because I'm like, it's a waste of time. I should be working. I should be building my goals, my dreams. Who has time for sleep? But sleep does heavily impact your mental health and your skin, of course. I want to keep the skin good. And as disconnected as it may seem, I want to test out consistently getting a full night's sleep and see if it does help to change my perception of myself. Third, I want to challenge myself to start dressing for confidence. I recently have noticed that I've become really passionate about styling and fashion, and I do at some level feel a little bit better about myself when I dress nice. And I want to try fully dressing up for confidence every single day and see if, it does anything good. Because I've seen how much it impacts other people, how when they dress nice, they just feel more confident and better about themselves, and I want to try it out. Fourth, I want to challenge myself to start taking more time for myself, meaning that for a week, I want to start working at 9 a.m. and finish working at 5 p.m. Don't work at all outside of those hours, and don't work at all on the weekends. I have always been kind of addicted to work, and I have never, since I was in high school, had a structured work-life balance where I'm taking time for myself, not thinking about work, not doing work, and fully resting. I do think that at some level, my self-confidence is affected by me not feeling like I'm accomplishing enough or doing enough, that I need to do more, and I'm never taking time to rest, which is really important for the body and super important for the brain. So I'm also nervous about that one. We'll see how it goes. Fifth, I want to challenge myself to start exercising for my mental health. Everyone and their mother says exercise really affects your mental health, but truthfully, I have always just been so addicted to working that I've had a really hard time consistently committing to exercise, because between working, recovery, and getting a full night's rest, which is necessary when you are actively exercising, I've always been like, that's not productive, I'll just work instead, which is not healthy. So I want to try really actively exercising every day for 2 weeks, whether that be at the gym, surfing, pole dancing, or just working out at home. I want to test it. And finally, I want to force myself to get off my phone. Now, obviously, it is 2022, we all have to use our phones, and I work online, so at some level it is necessary, but I want to craft out times where I completely disconnect from my phone, from social media, delete the social media apps and try and get out, go into nature, do things that don't involve me being on my phone. And I want to do this because I really do feel like a lot of poor mental health is tied to the natural comparisons that we make when consuming social media content and the anxiety and stress I feel from being on my phone all day. So that's also going to be an interesting one. But if you're not growing or improving, you're just stagnant. And there's no self-value, development, or maturity in that. So that is the journey I'm going to be taking you guys on, just really showing you a raw look into my life of trying to grapple with these things, testing them out, and a vulnerable look at what my own battle with self-confidence has been. And I want to say this is not going to be a sad, depressing, or hopeless journey by any means. I want this to be really positive because I've never actually committed to improving the way that I feel about myself. So I'm super stoked, and I want you guys to join this journey to see what my process is, maybe try these tips and tricks out yourself. Ultimately, as a reminder that it's okay when we don't feel good about ourselves. It's okay to not feel confident or constantly be loving yourself. It happens, and hopefully trying out these challenges will show that no matter where we're at, we can always commit to self-improvement. Anyway, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys join this journey with me. And if you guys have any recommendations, tips, or tricks for things that have helped you really improve your self-confidence, please comment them down below. I would absolutely love to see them and incorporate them into my videos. At this point, I am desperate to feel better. And yeah, I am just super excited. Thank you so much for watching. I'm so excited to begin this. And if you guys haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.